welcome back to another episode of the Geek podcast.
This is your host, Charlie Radio Williams. And this is Sean Luke.
Welcome back to another episode of the Geek podcast.
My bad.
Okay.
All right.
We're good.
Pretty good now.
Can we hear you?
Can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
I don't
Wait,
know.
I could barely hear you.
Can't
Well, I
hear
turned it really low.
Oh, no, that's
You
fine.
guys are-
No, you're
good
good there. You're good
Yeah,
there.
that should be
was-
better. Better than the last episode.
I was like, yo, like we do a lot of.
How about you do your job and
Wow.
yeah,
Hold
do
on.
your
Wait,
job.
whoa.
Do your job.
Relax.
Ooh.
How dare you?
My
Don't
man,
touch me.
relax.
Don't touch me. Don't touch
it's
me.
bad enough you're wearing the same shirt
Don't
from
touch
last
me.
week, man.
Because we do two episodes back. We do two episodes back to back. All right.
Shit, I gotta wear
Yeah,
it.
we gotta explain that now that we're on camera.
We do two episodes back to back. All right. And don't stop me when I'm consulting to help.
Yeah, let me.
You are not consulting. You are badgering.
Yeah, you're
and
badgering me.
belittling.
Come on.
I'm
man.
badgering them.
You're
Come on.
badgering and belittling.
Okay, good.
Don't do
I'm
that.
glad we got it out the way. Yes,
You're not supposed to.
I need people at home to know that when they look at the G's for Geek podcast and they're like, who the hell is Charlie Radio Williams? They know, you know what, Charlie Radio Williams, we respect him. You know why? He puts people in their place.
No, that is definitely not
Cut his
the
mic.
case.
Cut his mic. Cut his
No.
mic right now. Cut his mic.
Where's your hat?
What do we pay you for?
Where's your hat?
I left my dad hat home. Oh, wait. I'm lying.
Yes.
It's over there.
Dude, you literally just said we record
We're
two
supposed to be
episodes.
very
don't.
transparent
I'm trying not to shoot promos again.
Okay.
All right.
Do the intro, please.
Okay, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, see, I'm all nice and friendly now. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of the G's for Geek podcast. I'm your host, Charlie Radio Williams.
And this is Sean Luke.
And I'm Hannibal.
All right, and on this episode, which we're recording seconds after the last episode.
Mere seconds.
Mere seconds. You know what? Nah, I'm done. I'm done.
and this
I'm
is
done.
why we don't
I am
have-
simply done. I cannot deal with this.
Hit him.
You know what really grinds my gears?
Oh, tell us what grinds your gears.
All right? People who swear that they are in charge and take that responsibility to beyond reproach.
I agree with you. I agree with you. I think that's why what we need to have is the system.
Okay, whatever.
Are we bringing back that system again?
What really grinds my gears is so I don't know if this really pisses this is the things that really piss me off.
Oh, wait,
And-
are you sure we can get away with saying grind my gears? Because I feel like that's going to be a copyright hit from somebody.
Okay, so you know what really wheels the turbines? You know what really wheels my turbines?
Yeah, that's smooth. That's really smooth. What?
People who don't flush after using the bathroom.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Like that's something that pisses me off.
We're in a generation that we have to remind people to wash your hands.
For
Well,
20
yeah,
seconds.
unfortunately.
For 20 seconds, not,
Not 10,
splish,
15,
splash.
you know, splish splash. I was taking a bath.
But we're not going to talk about that. That's a sensitive subject.
What is sensitive about washing hands?
No, Corona.
No, that's
Excuse me, you leave my Bud Light virus alone.
Yeah,
Thank
Bud
you very
Light.
much.
All right, see? And that's why we get flagged. No, we haven't got flagged yet.
No, we haven't. We're
So-
probably gonna get flagged now.
Why? Can we talk about
You know what? I realize I really do have to now watch these episodes and as I'm editing and actually put in a bleep because I realize that halftime I really don't like. I mean,
You bleep? Yeah, you say a lot of terrible things.
Well, yeah, no, because
Cool.
if you guys really want to see the or hear the uncensored
stop
content,
looking at the camera. Nobody wants to see.
right? If you want to hear the uncensored
Get our
content,
Patreon going on.
you can always check out sketchfedstudios.com. You can check out Geeks for Geek
Stop
podcast
promoting us.
on
No,
Spotify.
stop
or
being
anything
that
like
guy. Why are you like trying to promote it so heavy? All right.
No.
Stop trying to be the face. All right. Stop.
But that's what I am.
All right. And this is why
That's how we eat. If the face doesn't do its thing, how we eat.
you're calling him the face too.
I'm calling the face inside.
There is a Sketchfed Sketchfed Mania Championship
Yeah.
in April coming up.
Ooh.
He is not the face yet.
No, he's not. Oh,
He's not the face yet.
Okay.
All right.
Fair enough.
He's not the face yet. Let's,
I am light in the face lover, Sean Rivera.
All right.
Okay.
You're fired.
Yo, that gave me goosebumps just hearing
You're
that.
fired.
What are you again?
I'm
William
taking,
Hurd. William the
I'm William
system.
Bright. The system. You're fired. And
system, William
I'm taking over Sketchfed. I mean,
Well, how would
Unless
you
you're
take
already-
over something that's
you're
already
already-
yours?
Yeah.
I'm taking it. I mean, there's outside challengers. Wink.
What do you mean? You care to expound upon that?
Because everybody wants the challenge for the belt.
Everybody
wants to challenge for the
Where's the
rule
belt?
the world.
It's on order.
Really?
You actually
Oh my
ordered it?
God.
So-
Get the fuck out
Yo,
of here.
it's gonna be amazing.
What's on
The
order?
SFS logo.
Well,
right? It's gonna be
that's the only
round.
way Rydon was going to get in. Like, he sent me a text. We were talking, and I was like, right on, which he's going to be on the next episode.
Okay.
I was like, right on. Me and Sean, we've taken this whole on podcast joke to the next level, and we recorded promos. And he was like, no, you guys didn't. And I was like, no, we did. And he was like, I would get, so I think we were back and forth, and I was like, we're going to do this. And when I told him that we're going to get a belt, he was like, are you? If you get a belt, I'm in.
Nice.
And because we've kind of talked shit so far about his name, podcast, and now on video, he's going to have to step up.
Step his game up.
But once again, this is not a promo episode. This is a
what is the one thing that really like pisses you off?
People who, when you're getting off the train, people who go downstairs when there are a group of people coming upstairs. Ooh. If the train has already left the station, let the people, especially if it's a huge crowd, leave, and then you can have all the room you need to go downstairs.
That's not possible. Not necessary.
The only problem with that is, and I understand your frustration with that, is because if they're trying to rush to catch the train.
If the train has already left the station, and there's a
metaphor?
It is a herd of people. Yeah, it could be a metaphor. And a herd of people are leaving. How do they know that the train left the station? I know. I guess because I'm looking at it from the downstairs perspective versus the upstairs. It just bothers me when people do that.
Okay.
It does. Right?
Well,
but that's a different system. That, the MTA system.
Well, we don't touch that.
Yeah.
We don't touch.
We don't? Is that okay?
We can't touch the MTA. Remember?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Fair enough.
It's what bothers my nerds. Bothers my nerds. Yeah, that doesn't.
It's
sound.
what blows my turbines.
Blows your turbines. Oh.
This sounds sexual.
Yeah. It what destroys my warp cores.
Ooh, Star Trek.
Oh, yeah, this is a geek podcast.
Yeah,
I don't have no geek references, so I can't continue. I can't help.
You can do sports references. It's fine.
What pisses me off is
whatever Marv's your Albert.
okay, that you don't know what you have to look that up and you have to bleep him out.
Okay. No, I think we're good on that one. Are you gonna say seeing your wife happy? I'm sorry, seeing your partner happy?
That does bother me a lot because she does. She's annoying. She talks too much.
Oh,
I'm just saying, for instance,
I'm sorry.
It may go back to the Corona thing, but the idea that our social media has got us all really worked up, and I think I'm a victim of it because I'm on it too much. Like, I'm really got to figure out, like, I need to give myself a hard, like, I'm only going to be on this phone for an hour a day. Like, the more I'm on the phone, the more annoyed I am with news stories, all type of things. I think we all have that, and we just get more and more, like,
I'm actually happy. I'm very happy you said that. I think it was 2 years ago, just before we started doing, like, Geek and Quick, that I forgot who I heard this from. There's a YouTuber I heard this from. I don't want to name drop. But I was really influenced by this. And what it was challenging myself to take Facebook off my phone. And other than Facebook Messenger, I do not keep Facebook on my phone. I keep Twitter on my phone, but I barely use it. I mean, it's mostly for promoting for Sketchfed.
Right.
But other than that, I felt like having Facebook in my phone, like, you just end up diving into it. I don't keep I keep Reddit on my phone, but I don't touch it. It's more like once again, it's just there just in case, like, I want to learn about how to use Reddit if I ever want to put out a Reddit for a Sketchfed. But other than that, like, there's a lot of apps out there that are great for what they do.
Yeah.
I just don't want to let it consume me in my own personal life. Just got real serious.
It's possible, but it's possible to have a healthy feed of people who are positive and just sending funny stuff. Nothing. You don't have to be someone that just sends really divisive political stuff in your feed all the time. Like, you could mute that person. Like, I think a lot of
here's the thing, and then I guess I'm the minority here. I don't mind.
Well, according to the cameras, we're all minorities here.
Yeah, technically we are.
You're a minority of a minority.
Yeah.
No, you're a loser. That's fine.
Anyway,
a loser minority.
I don't listen to losers.
In the ring, out the ring.
I don't listen to people who are going to lose their very first match.
Oh, word. Yeah, my very first match. All right.
So what I was going to say is, yes, it's okay to have all this kind of positivity and all that stuff on your feed so you can have this wonderful feeling, but that's not the reality. The reality is, and this is why I like to keep my social medias active, is because there is a nice reality between negativity and positivity. For every negative aspect of the world out there, there's always a positive aspect. But then also there's always this large gray area between like all these conspiracy theories, like apparently the coronavirus was sent to destroy our global economy, right? Or just something simple and
I mean, I have a theory.
hold on. Hold that thought.
Okay.
Hold that thought.
Okay.
And you know, because I'm going to finish.
I'm holding it.
Right? And then on the other spectrum, you just got Insta models with really big booties or really big, tetas.
Which is all over
Right?
your Instagram.
Titties.
All over,
Right?
all
Snack
over,
trays.
all over your Instagram.
melons,
Billies.
all over your Instagram.
beach balls. Yeah, that's the thing.
Not-
Is you have one or the other, and you know what? It's fine. You could always have different aspects, of a variety of life.
You're like Jerry the King Lawler during the aggression era.
What?
puppies.
Yeah.
So yours is 50-50. Like you're embracing both.
I don't mind embracing both. And there are people on my timeline that are very either Trump heavy or they're very anti-liberal heavy. Like there's people that are like so for Trump. There's a Latino that's on my feed that is pro-Trump and literally makes excuses for the things that he has done to the Latino community. Right? And literally adheres to the whole things that Mexicans are thieves and criminals and stuff like that.
But you still keep them on the feed. You
I still
don't.
keep them on the feed because I'm a true believer of the freedom of speech.
Oh, I think I know who you're talking about too.
I'm a true, maybe not.
Okay.
Yeah.
I am a very
I think the
true
person's name is
believer.
Charles.
Yeah,
Oh,
probably
no,
is.
don't. No. There's a lot of Charleses out
Yeah,
there.
I'm a very true believer of freedom of speech and freedom of expression.
Yeah.
Right? You can express exactly how you feel, but just know that I do not feel that way. Right?
Well,
But we can have, that's the thing, we can have a conversation, right? We can have a conversation and say, you know what? Look, you and I may have differing views, but that's okay.
And most people do not even follow
Well,
that.
I have a question
Some-
because
yeah.
That's a big problem.
here's my question because this is something
That's what really burns my turbines.
it burns my turbines. Here's my question, and I think this is something like we kind of learn from the streets, right? Yeah, you have freedom of speech. You can say whatever you want. Do you think that people are forgetting the idea that behind freedom of speech there are repercussions?
Well, there's always going to be repercussions for freedom
But
of
I feel
speech.
like no one cares that there are repercussions.
Well,
anymore.
when you see, that's what social media has done. Social media has made, the freedom of speech open to the world because there's always going to be a fear of repercussion, but there's no fear of any type of physical repercussion, any type of
because we're all just people hiding behind monitors.
Keyboard warriors.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And by the way, what streets of Cuba have you come from?
Yeah, what streets are you
Right?
talking
That you-
about? You said
that
from
you
the
think you
streets.
can-
What streets are you from?
You know,
sir?
yeah, you know where I'm from.
Viva la revolution.
I'm out there looking for the smoke. Yeah, I look like the type of guy who wants to smoke.
Actually, no.
No, I
you
don't.
do
I
not.
don't look like the guy.
You look like the guy that just came out of the IT department, wanting to smoke.
Being stressed out. Yeah, but some people will shut down a friendship if the social media feed doesn't fit their
So,
dynamic.
And which is crazy.
To that point, I don't unfriend people. I think that you're entitled. I just don't follow you. Like, I remember there's several people, even a cousin. They became very political, and I don't know if they didn't have a job, if social media just became their thing, but they would just post constantly. And I felt like the majority of my feed was just their post on a day-to-day basis. But once again, this is before I took like Facebook off my phone.
Okay.
It's funny, I took Facebook off my phone not because of politics. I took it off my phone because, and I'm guilty of this in the past too, it was just people would post up too much of their lives, and I get it. Facebook is about your lives, the rest of your thoughts and your experience. But then I started seeing people like they would go to funerals and take photos of their
it gets really
passed
weird.
away
Yeah.
loved
It gets really
one
weird.
and post it on Facebook, and it's cringy.
I'm a big defender of not taking any pictures during funerals.
Yeah.
That's what really spins my turbine.
or like
That-
You just keep bringing that
he's
back.
trying to sell that.
Just bring
This
that
is
back.
what spins my turbine.
Or someone airing out their relationship issues, and then the person starts. You see that big long
Oh,
comment
yes.
thread.
Yes.
I love that. That does not that.
Wait,
what's
can
the
I
inverse
share
of
one?
that?
Can I share one? This is a person that this is one I was just talking about.
What's their
with-
full names?
I'm not, because you and I know the person.
Oh, okay.
I was talking about this recently with my lady, and I was like, I was telling her another story about like the time that somebody called me a bitch. Another woman called me a bitch. And she was like, "Oh, did you stop her right then and there?" And I was telling her about my personality. I was like, "My personality is the very type that I don't argue. The moment you call me a bitch," is not a relationship podcast, just by the way. The moment that is, I feel like your partner calls you that, the relationship is over. And people might be like, "Charlie Ray Williams, you're drastic." No, the moment you utter the words and be like, "You're a bitch," like you feel like I'm a bitch, this relationship is over.
Carla called me a bitch like an hour ago.
No, but you guys are different.
Yeah.
I think there's a difference. I think there's a difference because you guys play a lot.
Yeah, we're fucking around. Yeah,
But I think when in an argument, when your partner calls you a bitch, like that came from deep down and from somewhere. Yeah. And to that being said, the best example is we know somebody who they were in a relationship and their partner and them were having issues. And instead of keeping their issues private, instead of keeping it to themselves, their partner went on Facebook and was like, "You ain't so and so and so, but that's why you's a bitch." And to me, even though they're happily married, they have a family now, to me, no, you can't. It's one thing to call me a bitch in public, which once again, calling me a bitch in general.
At dinner, you and lobster.
It's one thing to call me a bitch in front of our friends.
Cheddar biscuits. Like, you're a bitch.
But you went to Facebook.
Yeah.
And people know that we're together. And you called me. You literally was like, I think the comment was like, "You a little dick bitch."
Oh no!
Like it was something like that. And what? So it's like disrespect on top of disrespect.
It's too much.
You know,
that's cyberbullying.
Yeah, that could be borderline cyberbullying.
Yeah.
I mean, and don't get me wrong. When I was younger, back in the days when I was young, I'm not a kid anymore. Right? I was a victim of that. I was a victim of that type of, not necessarily the call outs, but I was one of those, like, I used to be in the early like 2000s when Facebook first started and I was in a relationship. I was one of those guys that put those really sad memes
and later tonight, just for this episode, Sean's going to go home and set his Facebook to private so nobody's going on.
No, y'all can see it.
In 2001, Sean
y'all can read all that.
Yeah.
Y'all can read all that. I was very disrespectful. I did some really horrible things. I said back in the days, I will admit that I said some really bad stuff about certain cosplayers and stuff like that.
Oh.
Not by name, but just by, by the way looks and things.
You were
like that.
cosplay hating.
Yes, I was.
Do you?
Or is that cosplay shaming?
Cosplay shaming.
We need to get that a tone. Like, you're slut shaming, which I disagree with that terminology. But I feel like there are a lot of people who cos shame.
The thing is that with that, and the thing is with that, and once again, we can talk about social media, is that people like myself at the time and whoever felt like you were open to saying stuff like that.
Well, glad you said that. On the way here, somebody in our chat group linked the Reddit thread.
Yes.
About just somebody who was like, "Hey, fat cosplayers, stop." Like their whole thing.
Don't cosplay skinny characters.
Yeah,
if you are.
Yeah. Oh, so you read it? Good.
Yeah. So
okay. Don't cosplay skinny characters if you are fat.
And that's something that I said back in the days. Like I would say, probably like 10 years ago.
I'm glad you're admitting that.
I'm admitting it because I know I screwed up.
It was your opinion. It was your perspective, and it was ignorant.
Yeah. Glad you're admitting it now before you become big, and we have to
but that's the thing too.
Your Twitter.
It goes crazy sometimes when someone does have an unpopular opinion. Even you can call it ignorant, biased, and then people will label them a dumb person or a bad person or a terrible. Like, it don't necessarily have to be that. It could be a bad opinion.
Well, that person, it's a really bad opinion because what you're doing is, I think from what I've seen now, and this is what learned from me, is that what you're doing is you're giving a false narrative to people, saying that you're not supposed to do what you love to do just because of the way you look.
Right.
Well, with that being said, I mean, we're all judgmental in our own way. Not to be like Hogan and be like we're all a little prejudiced or a little racist. Just that
he was
what N-word, Jim.
But we're all a little judgment in our own ways. I think once again because we have keyboard warriors, people are behind their monitor. Like we should I think that freedom of speech is something that we should embrace. But we should also be conscious of what we say because it says a lot about us as people. All right, I have things that are big gripes. And just to go back to what grinds or what. Go ahead. Say my turbines.
What spins my windmills?
And this is something I've seen as a meme, and I agree with it. If you can afford a $15 to $25 ticket, $50 ticket to go to a con, you can buy a bar of fucking soap.
Okay, that's a whole other conversation.
Right. If you
that is what we call PSAs.
If you can buy a $55 weekend ticket, right?
You can spend $5 to $7
Hold up. You can go to a dollar store and buy I'm gonna get into this. I know I'm gonna get hit. You can buy detergent. Let's just break this down, right? $45 to a $55 weekend ticket, right? Here we go. Let's break it down.
Oh, Lord.
You can buy $2 to $3 detergent. You can buy $2 to $3 softener. Most laundry mats, both washing and drying, depending on your load, is about a $10 charge right there. Body wash soap, a scrub. I like to use scrubs. I don't like to use towels.
Do you wear a loofah?
I like loofahs.
Loofahs are nice. Yeah.
All right,
Sudsy.
that's about $5. That's about $6 right there.
Okay.
Right? Do you
Not my
understand?
thing.
Like, I don't know what it is about, and I get it, geeks. We like to be comfortable. Not at cons. Not at I'm not going to name it, but it's this month. You know, it's in the big city. You know, it's in the Big Apple.
Big city.
And it never has AC.
You mean to tell me it's a Big Apple convention?
Yeah, it is a Big Apple convention.
It is a Big Apple convention. Right, it's because it's a convention in the Big Apple.
In the Big Apple,
Okay.
and it barely has any AC, and
It's very closed space.
People smell like the coronavirus.
Dude, come
Too
on,
soon?
man.
No, it's called the Chinese coronavirus.
Don't do that. Don't. We won't do that.
You won't do that?
Won't do that.
You won't do that?
Because
that's going too far.
I saw something. So there started
Hold on a
being,
sec. No, I'm not getting to it.
No,
You already
because
got, you're
there were
almost
some. There are a lot of despicable people out there. There were posts that were coming up about Lyft drivers and Uber drivers who were losing money because passengers wouldn't get in their car.
Oh no, but that's two different things. What I said, I just said where it came from. I didn't say.
I like how you're trying to clean it
No,
up.
I'm
now.
not cleaning it up, but
Please.
you were saying something that wasn't related to what I was saying. I said it's Chinese. It came from China, right? Like the West Nile came from where?
Yeah, okay. All right.
Ebola came from where?
I'll give you that.
Like,
I
took it.
Thank you for clarifying.
I
that.
didn't- I
Thank you.
took it.
Thank
I
you,
mean,
Larry.
yeah, we're trying to avoid like pure racist comments.
We're trying to be as honest and PC as we can be. I mean,
He's overrated.
and this is why we're not gonna make it.
We're gonna make it.
So, okay, to continue what you were saying,
Yeah.
the simple fact is that when people, like, for example, when it comes to the hygiene and stuff like that, there may be times where people can be like, you know what, if I save up this money, I'll have a weekend ticket to go to a con. So then there's those kind of people. Then there's others that it's just, let's say they do get the deodorants.
Sorry.
The deodorants from the dollar store, right? Those things run out in like a half a day.
Really?
What?
Yeah. If you get a deodorant from like any type of dollar shop,
You talking about the
or
little
whatever,
small little joints, right?
like Dial.
Hold
all
up.
those
Hold up.
others.
How much you putting on, Sean? You swipe 1 2 1 2. What are you doing? Like
But
forcing
if
it?
you're getting the cheap brand, those 1 2 1 2s
Nah,
aren't
no.
gonna last
son,
1 2 hours.
No, I get it. What you mean? Like, there's some people who need to like. There's some people who they do need to dab like once or twice. They
Yeah,
need
like,
to double dip.
I'm one of those
There's some people
people.
that need to double dip.
No, listen. I'm
But-
one of those
but-
people that's
but,
just like you have to have the. You know what? You have to find
Sean,
the right.
If
you have
you're
to find the
buying
right hygiene
deodorant,
products.
if you're buying deodorant, right? Because I've never been to a dollar store that has like cheap deodorant. Well, I mean Avon. You know? I mean, sorry, Mavon.
It's got bleeps and bloops you're gonna have to put in
Here
this
we are,
one.
Mavon. I've never seen it's like somebody put in deodorant and be like, oh, 2 swipes and this deodorant, this bar is gone.
I don't know.
No, I'm not talking about the bar itself. I'm talking about the activation of it. I'm talking about the fact that the person is so either active or sweaty or whatever that after the 2-3 swipes, it's gone.
You are not active. There's nothing about you that's active.
It's terrible. We talk about in a general sense of
So
everyone.
you
in the,
did not
There's
see
nothing
the
about
you did
you
not
active.
see the fact that I was running track in high school, in the old video that I
That's
posted.
like ages ago.
No, but that's when I learned about the dollar.
Yeah, but don't
deodorant was horrible.
don't compare that person to now, all right? That's like me saying that at my age,
Do you
which I
not
am,
realize how much I sweat on a regular
like,
basis?
That's like me saying at my age of a wonderful and beautiful 27, because black doesn't crack.
Anyway.
yeah.
No, but I still sweat a lot.
Yeah.
Okay, and even when I sweat a lot, I have to make sure.
But do you think that's wait? I don't understand your situation, but you think people who are in conventions and also bars, clubs, anywhere where there's a lot of energy, a lot of people packed in.
Yeah.
There's always one person that probably could have did a little bit more in the bathroom before they came out.
Either
So I
they could
understand
have
it.
done more, or when they notice, like, this is what I'm saying. Like, if you have a friend that's a little funky,
Oh, good question.
let them know.
How do you let someone know? Hey, bro, you stink. Like, how do you come? Like Charles.
No, I would simply say,
if I
In high
smelled,
school,
how
in
would
high
you
school,
talk
in high
to me?
school, we did have a friend. We had a friend who was
Full
like
name.
this. Not go. In high school, we had a friend. I remember we behind that person's back, and this is evil teenage years. The code was Campbell's soup because the associated smell smelled like certain brands of Campbell soup. Once again, not. I think Campbell soup is great.
I love Campbell
The show
soup.
is
I'll be around him
yeah,
all the
thank you.
time.
See,
I mean, her.
yeah, and you
him
had
or
some
her.
horrible friends.
But with that being said, I remember, like, I think what it is, it can't just be anybody. It has to be, and it can't be multiple people. It just has to be somebody who is very close to the friend who's willing to say, hey, look, like, I care about you, but I need to bring this to your attention. This is a conversation that is between me and you. It's not going to leave us, and I don't want you feeling like your feelings are hurt.
No,
But-
and
And
That's
I mean,
good.
some people do get upset at that, and I think it becomes a wake up call.
there's I could tell you a story about myself because even when I was never like a big guy, I was very skinny.
Before you start, I tell you this all the time. You're despicable.
I know.
You're despicable.
But here's the thing: I was the guy that they were making fun of.
We still do.
That's besides the point. But
Cut
for
his mic.
that reason, in junior high school, right? And you going back to junior high school when I first started getting puberty and I started getting these,
Growing hair on your nuts.
right?
Oh, beep that.
Back when you
I
had the
didn't-
long,
I
luxurious
didn't
hair.
know how severe my stuff was. Like I would just simply throw on some clothing, go to school, have a day. It was like I had like females. There was one time where there was females that came to me. It's like, look, you're nice, you're cute, you're good, but you have a hygiene issue. Like we can smell you, and
How hard is that when you took that?
because
Like,
I have a
how
question.
you felt
is
when
it,
that
is
happened?
it, is it worse? Because I've never experienced. Like I had my mom.
Oh, no,
my mom used to be one of those moms that's like, "Yo, boy, go get in the shower. You're going through puberty." But she didn't explain it, but you kind of got the gist when like she started buying me deodorant. She started buying me like just different
Yeah.
things.
Your parents got to jump in
Well,
basically to kind of help
it was
you out.
one of those things where it's like for me, and I actually remember that because that was one of those days, and yeah, even since it was junior high school, that's been one of those days where it's like, you know what, I can never feel like that again.
Yeah.
But my question to you is, and I'm kind of leaning towards what Hannah was, it's one thing when you're a guy and you go to another guy and you're like, hey, your hygiene. How did you feel?
With the girl,
Yeah.
I actually felt more comfortable that way because these girls literally went to your face. Now, normally they would go behind your back or whatever, but these girls went to your face and said, look, you understand, this isn't you. We know you, right? You need to do X, Y, and Z, because we know you want to have, like, say you want to have a girl, you want to do this, you want to do that, and this is not the right way. Like, they were nice about
Yeah,
it.
you were fortunate that you actually met nice people to
yes.
tell you. It's
So
not an insult, not like something
I
negative.
just want to say that all your friends are trifling. They're all freaking trifling. The girls are trifling. The guys are trifling. I say this because your guy friends didn't come to you to tell you, one. And two, the girls, how long did they hold on to that information before they was like, what, enough is enough.
And it's time for a
He
change.
smells like ass.
I
One
mean,
of us.
you know what
And
the-
did they come to you as a group?
Yeah, it was two girls.
Trifling.
Nah, I wouldn't
They
go
came to you as a tribe. That means they all
people?
they all had a meeting.
This is the smallest tribe possible.
Apparently.
too.
No, because they sent their 2 representatives.
Oh, Jesus.
They had a tribe, and they was like, "No, we need to
Clan
tell
de
them now."
Finale.
Yeah. So they sent their 2 best representatives.
Which is fine. I don't care. I still got the information, and I still took it. with I took not pride. I took it with humility.
You're such a
I
nice
took
guy.
it, and yeah, I know.
But this is a good conversation because, there's a lot of cons coming up in the next couple of weeks that if you do have a friend,
it's gonna be a summer.
a little smelly.
This summer cons is gonna be
like,
ridiculous.
you got to watch that ass.
I do have a question since we're kind of on that junior high school conversation. What's worse, being told during junior high or high school, you're like a brother to me, or you're like a homegirl to me?
Homegirl.
Because I've experienced that. I've experienced both in junior high.
I've never experienced homework.
Yes, I've
experienced
technical difficulties there.
Oh, this is why they were doing test shoots.
And we're back, and
this is why we're doing test shoots.
Hannibal's going to have a hell of a lot of editing on his plate today.
Good luck, Mr. Engineer.
Yeah. What the hell? You're the engineer of the show. What do you mean, what?
Yeah, I am. Sorry.
So, just before we close this off, because apparently we're hitting a half hour, over a half hour.
Yeah, it was a good conversation.
Yeah, this was better than the last episode.
This is like opening.
But you know what? It's because as geeks, we always have this issue of opening up, and we have to like literally let ourselves know. Look, we're above other people, so therefore we're
above other people.
I agree, Sean.
We need to make
above
sure
other people.
Yes, we are. We need to make sure that our cleanliness leads to our higher intellectual standards.
I totally understand. I totally agree.
The views and opinions just expressed on G's for You podcast does not express the views and opinions of Charlie Radio Waves.
Listen, the geeks and nerds of today are running the world. Okay, for the most part. Yeah. You got Elon Musk, Bill Gates, Neil deGrasse Tyson.
My dad.
Right?
Facebook guy.
Bill Nye the Science Guy.
My uncle.
Right? All these gentlemen were former nerds and geeks.
Any lady geeks?
Sexist.
Bam, got him.
You can't.
No, there are.
Yeah, but you can't name them, right? me and Hannah can name them, but we're not going to give you the satisfactory of helping you out.
You got Felicia Day.
I'm not going to help either of you out.
Black China. Cardi B. Wow. Those are women I look up to on a daily basis. Nicki Minaj.
Betty White.
Everybody's entitled of who they identify with and believe in. Yeah.
All right. You know what? Forget you.
You know what? Being the fact that it's it's Women's History Month. I think we do need to.
I think it's just Women's Month. Is this Women's Month?
It's Women's
International Day. I think
Women's International Day was the 8th.
All right.
So I think for the next episode, I'll look it up and I'll let you know the prominent females.
Why when you say females, you sound like a Ferengi?
Damn right.
Stop it.
All right,
females.
All right, we can talk about women in the next episode. I'm excited.
Don't bring Carla on.
No, we're not.
Okay.
No. Maybe.
Well, we'll already have another guest. So.
Oh yeah, we have.
Oh yeah. Nice,
we'll have JoJo on.
Yeah.
Can't wait. Should be exciting.
Yeah. Joe Clemens.
Are you gonna be weird like the last time?
Yes.
Everyone should look up the last time he was here. What?
Well, it wasn't filmed.
It was not filmed.
And it's like the early episodes.
But someone had, I won't say the name, had a beer and they said a lot of things.
Oh,
yeah, I remember.
One beer too.
I know it was just one
several
beer.
beers.
No, it was just one.
Yeah, damn it, Sean, you alcoholic. All right. We need to wrap this up.
All right, do your sign off video thing.
Sean doesn't wrap it up. He has kids.
Sean, you gotta wrap it up, dude.
Dude, I have no kids. There's nothing to wrap.
You need to wrap it up.
Your dick?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's why I don't have kids. I'm already wrapping it
You
up.
mean his Richard? People were sitting at home like, what are they laughing at? Their jokes are just whack. And we're like, you don't get it.
Yeah.
That's the point.
Why do you keep looking at me like that?
I can't wait to see this.
All right, so
this may change your relationship forever.
Ooh, what? Oh, filming us?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not happy
Look
with
at
the
Sean.
lighting.
He can't even see the footage yet.
I'm not happy with the lighting, and I'm not happy with Sean. I still think we need to cut his mic.
He's not happy with
I am his number one least likely supported fan. I support.
It's all right because I have fans that support me way more than you.
I support everything. I support everything he does.
I will have so many fans. So many.
How do you sound like Trump and Stewie?
Because I was going for Stewie.
All right, you doing the Trump hands and you're doing
because
Stewie.
he's a baby.
Because he's a stop it. Stop it.
All right, go on.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. With that being said, I'm Charlie Radio William.
And this is Sean Luke.
And I'm Hannibal.
And as always, thank you for joining us, and we are out of here.
The Geeks for Geek podcast with Charlie Radio Williams and Sean Luke is a presentation of Sketchfed Studios, produced by Charlie Williams and edited by Hannibal Darby. To find more episodes of the Geeks for Geek podcast, make sure you check them out at Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, and wherever else your podcast needs. If you need to hear Charlie Radio Williams and Sean Luke shoot the shit on any of your topics or questions, please send a tweet to the two geeks on Twitter, or you can send a message on Instagram for the Geektopians. For web series, podcasts, blogs, and more, please make sure to head over to sketchfedstudios.com. And as always, stay geeky, stay you.